Hey, what's going on everybody? Benji Kaiser here today talking about how to bring more value for your freelance clients and how to become a graphic design strategist. If you're new to the channel, I'm Benji Kaiser. I'm really stoked you're here. I'm gonna dive right in and talk a little bit about my background and then work our way through this video and help you understand how to bring more value. Now, this is the first video of a series that I've created to give you tactical and tangible steps that you can take, to give you tools that you need in order to make this a reality. That is bringing more value for your clients in order that you get paid more. This video has been highly requested by a bunch of people on my channel asking me how I went from just being a print designer to now a digital marketing manager, having strategy, having tactics, having techniques to bring more value to my clients, being able to track the projects that I create, track that data and see which project specifically brought more value to my client within a campaign. So was it the magazine ad? Was it the display ads? Was it the Facebook ads? Was it the new landing page? What was it that brought the ROI that the client was looking for? And that is what we want to do. We want to move from just simply the creative guy to the strategist and the data-driven designer. The first thing that I want you to do is head down into the description below and download the Design Business Kit. Now, this is a course I've created. It's free. It originally was going to be about a $500 course. And just thinking about my channel and thinking about the resources that are available online, there's nothing that really gives you a leg up to organizing and automating your design business. A good resource that I would have used when I was first starting my business. This is helping you overcome all the hurdles and mess ups that I did when getting my business started. So I want to give that to you as a gift. And the reason that I'm telling you to go download that now is because we're going to build on that product throughout this series. I'm going to bring in some tools that we're going to attach to the project management sheet that I've created for you in there that are going to help you bring more value, become value-based in your pricing. So I could go on and on about that. I'm really stoked about this resource though, so grab that. Let's keep moving. So as I said, start out with my bachelor's and Master of Fine Arts degree in graphic design. So as I set out from my master's degree, I dove into a print design position for a nonprofit organization. While I was there, I started to really work on my freelance business. So I would do, logo design, web design. I worked for an ad agency on the side for a while where I was designing Instagram ads and Facebook ads and landing pages. So I was really building out my skill set. And what I found though, at that time when I was trying to really build my business from the beginning levels, is that the design industry felt so crowded. With the onset of 99 Design and Freelancer.com and Upwork and Fiverr and Per Hour and just all these different really niche design sites that a lot of people get designed for really cheap and a lot of people to really worldwide advertise themselves, I became angry because I'm like, I spent 7 years developing these skills and now all of a sudden some guy in some foreign country is stealing my design clients because he's really good and he can. And so, through that journey, I thought, how do I create more value for my clients? How do I become more than just the creative guy? And so while I was working for the ad agency, I started to see the difference between a designer and a marketer and advertiser, and that is their ability to bring value with confidence. And the reason being is they're data driven, and that's the first thing I want to talk about in this talk is becoming data driven as a graphic designer. And so what I did is I got with the person who had hired me as a contract work for his company, and I said, the next series of ads I create, so I gave him a series of ads, I said, I want you to tell me what the ROI is for the creative on these ads. So how much money this brought the client. And so, it was a 3-month series. And at the end of 3 months, he said, hey, the ads you did were phenomenal. They brought the client, X ROI. I was stoked. He was able to see the exact ROI that my ads brought. And that I was through the roof. I was so excited. So I put that in my portfolio, and the next client I went to, I said, hey, this is the ads that I worked with for this company, and this is the ROI that they saw. Now, I didn't say it in that exact way. There's a certain way you want to talk to clients to make them the hero. Talk more about that in a later video. But the point is, are you tracking the ROI on the design you are doing? Because how I felt before I started making some of these decisions to really work with my clients as a graphic design strategist rather than just the creative guy, I felt like I was on a hamster wheel, just running round and round and round, and they wanted better, faster, and cheaper because I couldn't prove anything. They just wanted to get it cheap and fast because they didn't know the actual value of it. And I love what Chris Do says about this. He says, charging hourly, which is what happens to a lot of us when businesses undervalue the work that we do. Charging hourly punishes experience and efficiency. It doesn't take into consideration the value that is created. You are creating value if you're operating out of a standpoint of a graphic design strategist. Even if you're not, you're still creating value. But knowing that you are, tracking it, and being able to prove that value is the most game-changing thing for your business. Now, how do you do that? Well, my next video, and if you're watching this video at a later date, it'll already be available. But if you're watching it right as it's released, you don't have to wait till next week. So my next video is talking about how to create your own value-based pricing. And so you can click that in the YouTube cards above or the description below if it's already out. And that is really your first step to understanding your value. Because, I've often thought about this. I've often thought about, who Chris Do has worked with. He's a legendary designer. He owns Blind Studio, and he's over at the Future, and he's designed for Coldplay and Sony and Microsoft and Crate and Barrel. And I thought about that. I said, okay, is value-based pricing purely on the company's market cap? Because obviously companies like that, artists like that, when you produce some design for them and you get it in front of the right people, it's gonna bring them value because they're a big company. Their ROI is gonna be far more substantial than a mom and pop store in your local town as you're trying to get your career and your business off the ground. And so that is why I've created the value-based pricing sheet. And like I said, that's gonna attach to the graphic design business kit. So if you haven't gotten that, head down in the description below, grab that free resource. By really understanding the value that you create over the next couple months, then you'll understand the pricing. Then you'll have the ROI and the data to take those steps. Now, this is gonna take a little bit of work. You're gonna have to really work with your clients. You're gonna have to say, hey, I wanna become a strategic partner in your business. I don't wanna just be creative, but I wanna really invest in you. I wanna create this partnership so we can bring you more value and get you more return on your investment. You're gonna have to be patient. At first, you're gonna have to come in at a certain level, at a certain rate, because they don't know the value you can bring them. You don't have the data. You don't have that trust with your client quite yet. But as you collect that data, if you collect how much money they are increasing month over month, you can start to prove your value and increase those prices for future clients. Honestly, right now, and I hate to say it, and I don't mean to discredit the industry. In fact, I mean to praise the industry, but creativity is becoming a dime per dozen, especially with the onset of things like Fiverr.com and 99 Designs. So much creativity is being, put in competition with one another that really you have to find another way to bring more value. And that's to think more like a businessman or a businesswoman. That's to go to your client and say, hey, let's improve that ROI. Start to speak their speak and care about the things that they care about. And that will not only improve their business, but it will improve your business. And so really, I think about this in my head. I know a lot of you have probably had this happen. It's happened to me a handful of times. Somebody comes to me and say, hey, I was really excited to work with you. Your proposal looked great, but I was talking to my niece and she's actually learning graphic design. She's spending some time, she's learning Photoshop and watching videos and she's doing really good. So I'm gonna hire her as my graphic designer. And I can't argue with them because without data at that time, I wasn't a data-driven designer. I wasn't a design strategist. It was, what does he think good design is? And good design is relative with the absence of data. And so becoming a graphic design strategist, somebody who tracks, analyzes, and makes decisions based on truth and not feeling, is somebody who puts themselves a cut above just the standard creative guy or creative gal. Because that's something that I wanted to so desperately escape in my career, was being lumped into just, oh, he's artsy, he's creative. No, I want to be a strategist. I want to be a business owner. I want to be somebody who makes moves, who improves your ROI. I want to be somebody who moves the needle of your business. I want to be a strategic partner of your business. These are the things that I've been striving for throughout my career and have been very rewarding when I see those that level, just poof, 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 just get off that plateau, improve that business. And so that's really what my heart is for you in this series, and specifically in this video, getting your gears turning about how, for you specifically, how are you going to improve your ROI? How are you going to start to track your projects? And we're going to give some more ideas, give some more actionable tactics, and talk through how to actually do that in the coming videos on my channel. So ROI. Do you know the ROI under graphic design? What I mean by that is return on investment. So if you produce a magazine article or a Facebook ad, or you design a new landing page for a client, is that going to give them a 25% boost in profits this coming month? Because you understand how to structure a page to convert. Is it going to? And that's the thing that I'm talking about. That's where you need to start learning how to use tools like Google Analytics, how to strategically partner with the companies that you're working for to ask them, hey, can I know your numbers? Can we look at your numbers? Can we put those into, a tracker? Can we set a goal? Like, what's your goal this coming month? Can we try and reach that goal? Like, let's get strategic here. Let's make some moves. And so really just get your client excited, get them motivated, and bring them the results. And you know what? The scary thing about this is sometimes you're going to fail. And I love what Ogilvy said on this idea, and this isn't an exact quote, but he said that advertisers have not been held accountable for too long for bad work. And so what we find is, what if your work doesn't do good? Then you're outed, then you're proven that it wasn't good, and that's a scary thing. And so I understand that if you have hesitation to want to really start to become a strategic partner with your client, because you're like, what if it doesn't work? Like, what if my design isn't helping? And that shouldn't be intimidating. That should be motivating to make sure that your design is doing what you want it to do, and that's improving your client's bottom line. So what is good design? Without data, good design is absolutely relative, in my opinion. So the next thing I want you to do is head down into the comment section below and let me know what kind of designer you are. And I want you to start thinking how you can start to create a reoccurring based pricing structure for that client in order to become a strategic partner, because that will create more value for that client and it will bring you more money into your business, and you'll be able to start to rely on that consistency in order to grow your business. This is also really important because you want to be able to start tracking month over month how your clients are improving their ROI in order to become more value-based in your pricing, in order to be able to prove the ROI that a client will get or will potentially receive when working with you when you're proposing your design services to future clients. I love this quote from McDonald. Designers should use insights from their specific audience. Every industry, every vertical, and business is unique. When you follow design rules and guidelines to the letter or design trends, it leads to a cookie cutter website that doesn't resonate with your users. A lot of designers, and myself included, have been married to their specific design style and the way they apply typography, the way they apply their elements, the way they arrange their pages. And they're married to this because of foundational, building blocks that they received, for me as a print designer, or they just really like that certain style. But oftentimes it's keeping them and their clients from a better return on investment. And so breaking the mold, stepping away from your, standards, and really looking at what converts. Understanding Google Analytics so you can track a page and A/B split test versus two different pages to say, okay, this page with this arrangement of elements and this arrangement of typography and this headline converted more than this one. And sadly, I liked this one more, but it's not doing as well as this page. And that's where you're becoming a data-driven designer. That's when you're becoming a partner with your client. And so looking a little deeper into a design strategist, what does a graphic design strategist look like? Well, there's somebody who's humble. There's somebody who's serving their client. You're not here to tell your client what to do or to be a salesman, but you're here to serve them. And this is really where you start to transition and become more of a partner with your client. The first thing that they are is they're a storyteller. They understand how to tell a good story, something I really struggled with for a long time, and something that's really helped me just boost my ability to tell a good story. Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. A fantastic book. I'll link that in the description below. That's another step you can take right now, is order that book and start reading it. It'll change your life on how to not only tell a better story for your clients, but to have your business tell a better story to motivate clients to work with you. The next skill set that you must have is becoming a better writer. When I was in college, I hated writing. Who wants to write research papers about things they don't care about? I definitely did not. But once I got into my career, I realized I was writing every day. I was writing different, assignments to my coworkers on the projects that we were working on. As a digital marketing manager, I'm writing full articles and blog posts motivating our potential customers to use us as a product. I work for a software as a service company, and so we do a lot of content marketing, and I'm writing that every day. And so a great resource on this is On Writing Well. I will attach this in the description below. Definitely a book worth the read. Graphic designer is the next skill set you need, which is obvious because we are a graphic design strategist. So continue to improve those skills, continue to work on your craft, on your abilities every single day. You're a self-starter if you're gonna be a graphic design strategist, because you can't just let the tactics, the tools, and the techniques pass you by that help you improve the business of your customers, of your clients. This is something that I have tried to embody as much as possible, because nobody's gonna tell me to improve my business. It's up to me to improve my business and improve my abilities as a designer, as a storyteller, as a writer, and lastly, as a data analyst. And I don't mean Coke bottle glasses. I don't mean, hammering away at code all day long. Perhaps you might get into a little code here and there. But becoming somebody who understands data and understands how to use it and tell a story with it is going to be an incredible graphic design strategist. So those are the 5 things that make up a graphic design strategist. Though they sound laborious and they sound very, very, overwhelming sometimes to us, they have to me. So if you're saying, hey, that's a lot to learn, I understand, this takes time. If you're thinking about your career on a 15 to 25 year scale, it's really just a moment of time compared to the value you can bring your clients over that amount of time. Opportunity is missed by most because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. It's one of my favorite quotes from Thomas Edison. Today, you got to put on those overalls, dive into the work. That's going to be the key to becoming a prolific graphic design strategist. Again, head down into the description below, download the graphic design business kit. That's going to be essential to the coming videos in this series. I'm Benji Kaiser of BenjiKaiser.com. I thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you here on the next episode.